recycled time and time again, has found those clutch kills. We're gonna let that game continue to play out because it's FaZe Clan versus Sentinels. We're in on the action. This is a parallel matchup. Both of these teams being surprisingly dropped to the lower bracket now have to face off. And would you believe it, Tools, after this series, one of these teams is out of the tournament.
Absolutely, guys. I know a lot of you watching that TSS matchup were interested in how that one's going to finish. We will keep it we'll keep updating you guys as things continue, but this is the match that we have to watch. The former Sentinels trio going up against their old teammate in LethuL. And so far, it starts off well for FaZe Clan, able to get the camo and the shock rifle. And LethuL's in trouble. Shock rifle to one side, noob combo to the other. A rock in a hard place. He goes down, and FaZe Clan have firm control. A 2-2 split across the map, and look at them working wonderfully with each other. 3 go down. Renegade say, can I go? Can I go? Can I go? They're saying, no, you have to stay for now. You can tell he wanted to push on forward, try to get into that trip cap action, but they're going to corral the rest of Sentinels into the back of C. There's just no way to move forward.
I want to see if that pays off for FaZe. You know, keeping Renegade maybe held back, like tugging on the leash, and he's just ready to go on the hunt. But the points are ticking for FaZe Clan. They have this map on lockdown. 2 hills is enough. You don't need to overextend and risk what a 3 cap would give you. And instead, Renegade, let's go, the pancake. That's what we love to see.
What you saw Renegade doing at the top of that hill for what 30-40 seconds was just juggling the power-ups. He had a grapple and a repulse, and you want that repulse for the individual fights, right? When you know they're pushing in, he's able to keep the access to both, and while the repulse gets him the kill, and Frosty picks up the leftover shock rifle. I think it's kind of great to have a roster where, like, oh yeah, if Renegade dies, I have Frosty to pick up the slack because he's gonna hit every single shot as well, and suddenly FaZe is running on all cylinders, and Sentinels, oh no, Sentinels is in trouble. Look at the collapse from FaZe, and Frosty knows about the leak. He says, I'll take care of LethuL, you guys take care of business. Kuhlect goes out with a big kill. LethuL staying alive against Frosty, and looks like Sentinels might be able to survive the onslaught just for a second longer.
So far, FaZe Clan is living up to the hype that you kind of set for them. This capture from Sentinels is completed as LethuL drops down. I was getting really nervous that a reset was coming through. LethuL does prevent that triple cap, but only for a moment, because Royal2 with a double kill is cleaning up the house. And now we see that FaZe are starting to steamroll in this game. What can the Sentinels do?
Sentinels just need to be able to get slays. It's as simple as that. We see game 1 end for TSS, and Complexity taking that first game. We'll keep you guys updated over there, but it just comes down to raw slaying ability, right? We're seeing FaZe, every single player getting within those slays, no one having less than 5. Meanwhile, KingNick and Spartan, the long-term duo, just can't get the slays rolling for the team. They're gonna come back. They need to start putting FaZe on the respawn screen.
And it just seems like even in this play, LethuL gets a kill, he picks up the shock rifle, but then he's taken down before he can utilize it. FaZe Clan keeps stopping Sentinels short, not giving them a footing. Royal2 on the flank finds the back smack, gets the double kill, and it just seems like Sentinels are scrambling throughout this game. FaZe Clan are just 80 seconds away from the win. There's still time for Sentinels, but we need to see a different level of play from what they've shown us in the first half of this match.
Nick tried to deal with what was up top, but what lurked down below was a shock rifle player. He goes down. It's another camouflage. This time it's for Royal2. Double positive throughout this game thus far. This trip cap could be disgusting as Royal2 gets behind this player at top gold. He needs to find these kills, break the hill immediately, get it recaptured for his team, because they don't want to give Sentinels any type of momentum going into the next game. And while Royal2 camo shock rifle, you might as well call it GG. Kuhlect, can you stay alive? Kuhlect cannot, but Spartan has the help from across the map. Finally, Sentinels have 2 hills, but even then, Frosty's still fighting pressure on the map. Nothing is free for the Sentinels roster.
Everything is coming at the cost of their lives, and as Sentinels get 1 capture, FaZe Clan are just backfilling and finding another zone. Sentinels had a brief glimmer of 2 zones capped, but no, Frosty with another double kill. They're capturing B. He might try to make a break, but Spartan is stopping him. Spartan puts 2 on the board. It might be enough to stop the bleeding, but the FaZe clan are now in that red zone. They're past the 200 mark, and Kuhlect finds himself in the middle of a game of ping pong.
Yeah, I mean, the difference between these two teams' speed is just intense. FaZe look as if they're in 5th gear, just going at max speed down the highway, while Sentinels, you know, they're new to driving the car. You know, they might be in driver's ed, first time on manual, shifting some gears. It's sounding rough out there, but that's what it takes when you're a young driver, when you're a young team. It's going to take some experience putting your foot on that pedal. But the grinding of gears can be a tough thing to look at and to listen to, because this has just been a dominating performance from this FaZe clan roster. Sentinels, they need to find themselves a miracle if they're going to come back in this game.
I think you highlighted such an important point there, Tools, that it looks like they're in driver's ed. And the thing that I hope for Sentinels is that they are willing and able to learn that lesson. Now, you're looking at, you know, the young gun players like Kuhlect might see more like growth from him throughout the season, right? He has set a good name for himself, but there also is a little bit of that mentality of just the grind, willing to learn. But do you think the rest of the Sentinels roster is ready to take a loss and then turn it into an opportunity for growth?
I mean, hey, when you got LethuL, anything is possible for your team. That's a player that knows exactly what it takes to win a game. He knows exactly what it takes to win a series, and he knows exactly what it takes to win a tournament. You just got to listen to him and play around his style. I still think there's opportunity for this Sentinels roster, but it's going to come with a lot of growing pains. We're talking about very temperamental Halo. The way Sparty plays, it's high octane. It can be flashy, but when it's not going right, it can look rough. Kuhlect's new to the scene. He has a lot of individual talent, and it shines through in moments, but it still shows that he's a rookie. It's going to take him time to get to that consistent level that you expect, and KingNick is that all-around toolbox player that you love to see for a team, but it's going to take him time to know what his players' needs are. The only player he's played with before in a competitive setting is Spartan. It's going to take him time to adjust to the rookie and to the long-term vet. I still think Sentinels has an opportunity to do some crazy things in this next year, but we're going to see a lot of performances like that one until they get to the level that they expect out of themselves.
There's always going to be some bumps in the road, so looking forward to seeing how the Sentinels can rebound after a tough game one. You know, not just taking the loss, but barely putting a chink into the armor of this FaZe clan roster. And I have to say, on the side of FaZe, they seem like they're coming out for vengeance. After being dropped to the lower bracket in a game 5 against G1, they are firing on all cylinders. As we head into game number 2, Slayer on Aquarius, pretty much matching kill for kills, but Royal 2, watch out, Heatwave in hand.
Thrusters are up. Remember how important these thrusts are going to be in this game. It's a utility tool that will allow you to win so many pivotal fights, and the sandbox is always so important to your success. Make sure you're controlling it at all times. Sentinels come out pretty strong, 4-3, and you can see FaZe Clan having to fight out of their base. What's the follow-up from Sentinels, though? You can't let FaZe Clan have too much room to just roam around. You have to keep them corralled.
Yeah, the pace of the game is going to be also important. Both teams wanting to play aggressive, but Sentinels need to be able to match the kills, and right now it's 3-4 going down for Sentinels. You talked about Sentinels needing to hold FaZe back and not let them find the momentum, but as 4 go down, now Royal 2 is storming the castle. He gets a back smack. He lays down the early fire onto the player in Refrigerator, and they are continuing. A little bit of an answer here. Spartan gets a clutch kill, but ultimately Royal 2, the rest of this FaZe Clan roster, they get their pick of what they want on the map.
We saw that TSS complexity game still close, 20-19 when we checked in. Royal 2 looking to make some more Royal 3s. Not able to get the triple kill that time, but the damage is done. 3 go down, and Sentinels suddenly, they're going to be trapped over at util, and there's a waiting Frosty at the top of car who's wanting to get into this action. The 1v1, New Blood wins the fight. Kuhlect with the commando rifle, shutting down one of the best individual talents in the scene.
Yeah, that's a nice win for Kuhlect and his first kill on the game so far, but it's still the early stages. This camo could prove the turning point. If Kuhlect can recharge that shield, he picks off one fight, cleaning up a kill. That's some great team fire. Using the camo to feel pretty safe at the low ground, and he is ready, locking on for kill after kill. Now a straight 1v1 takes another that he is gonna swap into the hands of Renegade, but Kuhlect putting some damage down with the use of the camo.
And Kuhlect's going to be a player that you're often going to see stray away from his 3. He's an entry slayer. He knows how to get the one-on-one fights to go in his favor so often. Expect to see him go rogue a couple times because he knows his individual talent can bail him out of certain situations. SnakeBite working so well with this team right there. They knew that Sentinels was in the back of this yellow base. All they had to do was work together. It's a 1-2 punch. The bait and switch comes through. Easy kills, and now Renegade looks to find the follow-up, and 3 players are in his reticle, but he gets the damage in on all 3 of them. Now it's up to his team to find the finish, but it looks like Sentinels are finally going to be able to alleviate some of this pressure, spread themselves out on the map as FaZe Clan go 3 down.
And it looked like a scary spot for Sentinels as they kind of piled up into that utility, but they managed to stay alive, cover for each other in the generator. Some good team plays from Sentinels, and right when they needed it, we're hitting that halfway point of the game, 21-25, and staying within 4 means 1 more round of slays, 1 team wipe, and you're right back in this fight. Is KingNick the one that can make it happen? We're doing a little picture-in-picture to see the other matchup happening, TSS versus Complexity. Oh, that's looking very close. 36 to, I can't quite read the second number there.
I believe it's 40 or something like that. What you need to know is very close in that game. We'll keep our eye on that one. LethuL down at P1. This is a dangerous spot. I was about to say, there's nowhere really for him to run, and Renegade says, hey, you're gonna make yourself that easy. I'm dropping down. He gets the kill, and now look at the rest of Sentinels. They're all trapped at blue, and Renegade says, I want to go in that door, but there's danger that awaits. Him and SnakeBite work for the 1-2 punch, but well, let me do quick math. 3 minus 2, that's 1. Oh, I think 3 is more than 2, right? So we're gonna see Sentinels triple up. They're able to take down the 2 players, and now suddenly they're trying to break through. This is a little chaotic for the side of Sentinels. You see players running left and right, and trades are coming through, but every trade goes in the favor of FaZe. They need to be able to find a team wipe.
Definitely chaos, but on the side of FaZe Clan, it looks like controlled chaos, because as they mix and mingle alongside Sentinels, it seems like they're just increasing on that lead, now doubling it from what was once 4 points. Now they're at that 8-point lead, and we're gonna swap over to the final stages of this Slayer game. TSS versus Complexity is a 2-point game, make it a 3-point game. 47-44. TSS are right back in this fight, and if they come out with this win, they tie up the series.
And look at Complexity. They're just trapped in the back of this base. There's nowhere for them to run, and well, 2 more kills and this one's done. Cycle and Tush trying to work together to get out. Swish and Super CC are waiting for the call to say, hey, we can go out. 3 players though.
Oh my gosh.
You have to be hyper aware. Septify able to find 1, and now you start to see them run. Septify finds 2, gets revenge on his old team. 50-44, TSS tie the series. We're heading back to FaZe versus Sentinels. You can see FaZe doing more of what they like to do. 4 go down for Sentinels, and with camouflage coming up, you have to imagine FaZe is going to be in a dominating position to grab this power up away.
Kuhlect is trying to stop that camo pickup, but it's not going to be enough. 3 go down for either side. We see a 1v1 here. SnakeBite with the high ground and the camo, and he didn't even have to clean up the rest of that 1v1. He just had to wait for his teammates off a respawn, but there's Kuhlect now scrolling right through, maybe aggressively pushing. Kuhlect 15 and 11 is staying positive even as Sentinels are down by 7.
Start to see, look at how Sentinels split 2-2 on the map, try to take down FaZe as duos, something you'd see a lot in Halo 5, but we've seen a lot of movement towards 3-1 or 4 stacks in Halo Infinite because of the team shot. There's a less movement where you can make yourself a hard kill and be able to take down a player just by yourself. So often you're reliant on the team shot. And that's why you're seeing FaZe, they're always going to run as a stack of 3. You're always going to see a triangle on the map. They're going to have each other's help at all time, and it always makes for very solid, clean Halo. It gets the job done versus Sentinels in game 2, and suddenly Sentinels tournament life on the line. We need to see some life brought into this team, especially from their 2 Slayers. We want to see Kuhlect and Spartan really step up in this next game of Oddball.
Hey, listen, Tools, this is the first series of the day. You know, maybe Sentinels are just getting warmed up and are ready to, you know, mount a reverse sweep here in game number 3. I mean, wouldn't that be something? You're talking about Kuhlect and Spartan needing to step up on the slaying game, and I still have to go back. I think Kuhlect ended up with the most slays on the team, or maybe even in the game. Definitely looking at that damage stat, looking very strong, but you going up against Royal 2, 3,900 damage across the board. Royal 2 has been a slaying problem for Sentinels to deal with, and until they can answer that problem, they're not going to be able to come out with a win. Even as we shift to an objective mode, the slays from Royal 2 and the rest of FaZe have been locking down the map, locking down the sandbox, and making it almost impossible. Sentinels always on that back foot, always at the disadvantage. And even more so as we shift to streets, with the amount of weapons available here, if FaZe keep those high-speed slaying power going, they're gonna have everything to work with. It could snowball really quickly.
Yeah, this map is a nightmare for teams that are struggling to keep up with the slays of the other. Very small map with a lot of high-powered weapons. That stalker rifle, the rockets, they can make all the difference. And looks like Sentinels just let SnakeBite grab the rockets and run away for free. And suddenly this could get real dangerous.
How free were those rockets? I mean, you blink your eyes and you miss SnakeBite just running, grabbing, cleaning them up. Oddball as well in the hands of FaZe. No surprise there. 2 rockets go out. Spartan is injured, but SnakeBite's gonna double back because he wants that red weapon. Again, using the kills to clear space to secure the sandbox. The first seconds on Oddball go to FaZe, but there's gonna be a round of slaying happening before any objective time goes down. Kills are trading back and forth. I don't know that either team really has the footing that they would want.
No, but FaZe Clan I still think has the better opportunity. The problem is you have Kuhlect and he has a stalker rifle in his hand. This is going to be a dangerous situation for FaZe to push into. They have to deal with Kuhlect first. And Kuhlect's been just happy to sit at the back of PD. He finds a rogue SnakeBite up at heaven. The ball going into the hands of FaZe Clan, but the slays have gone to Sentinels. But look at Royal 2's rotation. He's going to be able to get back towards his team. So even though Sentinels go positive in the slays, they're not going to win the rotation. Royal 2 quick to pick up that ball, and this is just free time. Sentinels have made this complete rotation back towards C because they saw the ball rotating to purple, and Royal 2 said, gotcha, I'm going back towards A, completely out-rotating the Sentinels roster, and now it's just LethuL alive to watch that ball soak up time. A great fake out, and now it's a better shot by Renegade. This is so deadly, and now Sentinels, this is a real opportunity for FaZe Clan to beat them 100-0. It's going to be tough to break the castle.
When it comes down to streets, when one team locks down the weapons, this game can snowball, and that's what's happening for Sentinels right now. Kuhlect with the red gun in the back of PD was their only chance to break through that hold, but Renegade with the perfectly placed drop wall stopped any offensive push that Kuhlect could make. So now we're down to the next round of rockets in the hands of Sparty. He gets 1 kill, he gets 2 kills. That's what we needed, but he's also the last alive. SnakeBite wins the piv, and now he gets the oddball as the last surviving player on the map.
That all starts with the power-up control. Renegade had the shotgun in hand, and although Sentinels found the brief break, were able to get 3 seconds, Renegade hammered his way through the defenses with that shotgun, was able to get 2, then found a stalker rifle, went for a triple kill. Unfortunately, the Rockets stopped that short, but you can see how easy it is to break into some of these positions as long as you have control of the power-ups. Kuhlect, though, finally able to get that shotgun in the hand. For the first time, we see Sentinels have a setup, How does FaZe Clan approach the break?
It took multiple waves of offense for Sentinels to break through, and now they have a chunk of time on the board. Spartan does stop the push. He lines up the BR shots just before the range of that Bulldog becomes a problem. Renegade versus Spartan. Renegade pushes around the corner. Spartan backs up, but oh no, it's a 2-for-1 special, and Spartan is on the menu.
Kuhlect trying desperately to stay alive, and Frosty hears the words of SnakeBite, tries to get back to get the help. Kuhlect versus Frosty. This is the two superstars of the team going up against each other. One has the pulse rifle, the other one has the shotgun. Well, Renegade comes in for the help.
LethuL rotating around on the flank play, relying on that Sentinel beam, but it's not gonna laser for enough damage. But it wasn't just a distraction play for SnakeBite. Rockets back in hand, very reminiscent of the very opening break where SnakeBite snuck away with rockets. He's pushing, he takes one, he takes two. Around the corner, Spartan looking for the triple. Kuhlect is there as well. That's the overkill in hand, but 3 is gonna be enough for SnakeBite. Kuhlect, last alive, is taken down. The janitor has arrived.
Yeah, look at the red room spawns from Sentinels. They're gonna have easy access to get towards this ball, but they're gonna have to find the slays. Time is running out. LethuL gets some shots, weakening up for Sparty, but the nades keep Sparty at bay. FaZe is gonna be able to survive the onslaught for now. Round 1 to them. Sentinels got the blessed spawn, but couldn't execute on the opportunity. On the other side, as an update of what's happening over at TSS versus Complexity, we see a pretty steep lead for TSS, but Complexity with control for now. I imagine that round 1 will go to TSS. We'll keep an eye on that matchup as FaZe versus Sentinels continues on.
Tools, you gotta look at the scoreboard real quick, because Renegade most kills on the board and least deaths. Pretty impressive to play that aggressive, but also to have only, oh no, what have I done? I apologize, Renegade. I apologize. I'll count that one. That one can go on my stat sheet. But still, 11-3, still staying alive, getting the most kills on the board. And I have to also credit Sparty. He has been picking up the slaying department. It's just been too little, too late. Here come Sentinels, though. 20 seconds, a much better start in round 2 than what we saw early in round 1.
Yeah, finally able to win that opening break, and now you're gonna have a lot of the power weapons to work with. You're gonna try to keep them at bay, but LethuL and SnakeBite, they've been playing for a long time together. Kuhlect, they're not gonna fall for your trap. They worked in a 1-2 tandem, take down the ball carrier and the shotgun, pull that ball away, and Renegade has the help from the cross. Sentinels setup broken as easily as possible, and look, they might have won that fight versus Renegade, but they have a country mile to travel if they're going to get to this ball. KingNick goes down quickly, and well, the rest of Sentinels, they need to hurry on up, make sure this ball doesn't get any further away. And actually, I think Sparty's making a huge difference here with that red gun, able to get the shots down range, pulling these players away, and now he's picked up the ball. He's getting aggressive. This is the Sparty I love to see. He's starting to be a one-man army.
He's starting to live up to that call to action that you gave to him, saying pick up on the slaying department. He's doing it. The stalker rifle might have just been the key there, denying that rotation back into PD, as I believe it was SnakeBite was caught there at dead end or caution side. Now Spartan has to slow down for a quick second, milk that life. Renegade is going to find him at the back of A, but all this time, Sentinels are holding on to that lead. Attention going to shift to this next Rockets as KingNick takes down one with the commando. He's looking for a second. LethuL is at one shot, bouncing the frag grenade off the pillar. It's not going to find its mark. Those Rockets are still up for grab. Here comes KingNick. Frosty was ready, but KingNick had enough help to survive on that pickup.
That first shotgun not gonna get a kill. That player gonna be able to get their shields back. The second one goes into the wall, giving homage to Chris Puckett as KingNick, and suddenly this push from Sentinels could be in jeopardy. Renegade has the power weapon again. KingNick's not gonna be able to get any damage, and Sentinels push is completely snuffed out. Dead Rockets make no impact, and now Kuhlect has to wait for his teammates to spawn.
Man, I told Mikowski it was a hot take that he'd rather have the Stalker Bulldog instead of Rockets, but I'm starting to see why that could very well be the strategy. Rockets time and time again proving ineffective against the movement and rotations of these pro players. Unfortunately, there's no movement for SnakeBite to get out of that plasma grenade. He gets taken down. 2 are down for Sentinels. LethuL in a pivotal position here at Tires has angles, but needs to stay alive. Does so long enough to get the takedown on Royal 2 before Frosty's gonna find him. But look at how sneaky FaZe has been with climbing up this scoreboard. In the blink of an eye, they now have this 50-second lead.
Hey, shout out to SnakeBite right there. You know, it's not flashy.
Yeah.
But he saw Renegade holding the ball. He said, hey, Renegade, I know you have 79 seconds of time, but you're also 18-5. Let me come take this from you. So they did a little ball swap at the back. They're going to let Renegade go free because he has both of these power weapons, right? The red gun and the shotgun in the back pocket. KingNick doesn't care. He's going to be able to take that down, and that's going to be a switch of the weapon control for now. Rockets coming up. This is going to be a massive opportunity. Sentinels needs to execute, and Sparty's in the perfect position. Bottom C to try to clear out that lane. He gets the rockets, but can he get around the corner? Yes, he can. This is the opportunity Sentinels has been waiting for. They have every power weapon on the map. They have FaZe spawning completely across the map. This is where you have to execute.
Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go, Sentinels. You saw Renegade try to play the ball there off the top of the tower, but just caught that half wall. Proved to be a costly mistake as Sentinels swept in, grabbed the oddball, and with it the Rockets. 2 go down for Sentinels. FaZe plan back to 4 strong.
Open
and they
qualifier.
Although Sentinels don't have much time on this break. FaZe is just 15 seconds away from the game.
It's gonna be KingNick, the first one in, but it's been the shotgun that's been in the side of every player as Sentinels thus far. I think every player has died multiple times to the shotgun now. They need to control these power weapons. They haven't been able to do so, and that's gonna be game for FaZe. An easy 3-0